What's good, fam? What it is, what it does, what it do. It's your boy, Lord of the Rings Week. Let's not hesitate. Let's get right into it. So you know where we start. Now pull up. Boom, man. What up, fam? It's your boy T3. Before we get into this Lord of the Rings with Rings of Power week, let's start with the like, subscribe, share, comment, talk to your boy. All new subscribers are welcome. All the people that's coming back around, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Let's get down. Let's get on some action. So, we already done episode 1. We're now in the episode 2 of Lord of the Rings week. Yes, Rings of Power. What's going on? We got 3 storylines that we working with. 3 of them. We got the elves, the dwarves, and the wizard. We have yet to really get into the story of men. But where does this episode start us off at? It starts us off with Galadriel having a vision, because the Rings of Power, Galadriel is smart and stupid at the same time. You know what I'm saying? She knows this is Sauron. She knows about his power. She knows what he's about. She knows that he is evil. And yet she wants to use these rings. Well, her insight has given her a small piece of what Sauron's trying to do. And she starts to feel the power of the ring trying to overtake her. And she has a vision. And in the vision comes out with if you remember Lord of the Rings, there was a saying: 3 to the dwells that dwell in the sky. 7 to the dwarves that dwell in the hall. And 9 to the rings of men whose lives are short. Yo, son, that right there tells you everything Sauron is trying to do. He's trying to lure you into his power. Because watch the king. Watch the king as he watches his ring, son. He is really feeling the power. He's starting to get that Gollum look. You know what I'm saying? That look of Gollum. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to see and feel the power, because slowly Sauron's influence is coming over things. At the same time, Sauron takes his earthly form and goes back to the ring maker. And he waits his time, because Sauron has a plan in play and everything's coming into motion. The elves were going to leave Middle Earth and head back to their homeland. But because of now they have the Rings of Power, it healed the land that they were living in and is allowing them to stay there to have a long life. Dwarves. What is going on with the dwarves? The dwarves' caverns have fallen, which means they don't not getting any sunlight to their crops and fields. Let's go back to Fellowship of the Ring, people. This is the same hall that Balrog, you know what I'm saying? You shall not pass. Yes, the monster that Gandalf had to come against is luring at the bottom of this place. The dwarves dug too deep, Gandalf said. They woke up something that has been here since long before the age of time. And they don't know that. And since Sauron has started up Mordor, see, the whole piece was he needed the elves to take the ring to heal the land. Because now what was ailing them was them having to go home. Sauron need the dwarves to need him, because their rings will help them heal their land. What is their issue? They have lost sunlight to their side. They have lost the light that shines down into that cavern. And there's a feud between the king and his son. And that division is going to play into his hand. Man is corrupted. We don't need no motivation. We just evil and bad all the way around. So the people that he has to influence first and the most are the elves and the dwarves. Well, while this is going on, the dwarf's wife tries to reopen the hall. All the things that they're trying to do to bring sunlight back to their land so they can raise their crops and they can have the fields and food and all this stuff is going to fail, because this is all a part of Sauron's plan. And that's why Sauron, if you go back to the conversation between Sauron and the Ringmaker, he knew that they were already having issues. Sauron ain't been down there. Sauron ain't walked those earths. But because Sauron is a higher being and he comes from the what you would call a demigod, he knows what's happening because he set these things in motion. The other storyline that we got going on is the wizard. He is yet to remember who he is. He is also part of the demigod lore. He is one level down below them, which is why he is having issues with his memory, with his powers, everything that's going on, everything that he needs. And the people that are pursuing him are part of the demigod's guard that is trying to stop him. Because once he realizes who he is, he's part of the Gandalf realm here. The ones that are going to be able to walk with the levels of men. They're giving you a small Gandalf, a hobbit feeling with the halflings and the wizard. His power is yet to be, once he remembers his name, because if you notice, he does not remember his name yet. Once he remembers his name, his power is true. How do we know this? Let's go back to the two towers. Oh my goodness. I got something for you today. Let's go back to the two towers. When Gandalf came back, when Gandalf had to go save the two halflings out of the forest because they were going to be eaten by an orc, Gandalf did not remember who he was. Because the two guys were excited when they see him and they hug him and they go, Gandalf, you're still alive. Because the last time they saw Gandalf, Gandalf had sacrificed himself in the mountain to let them be free. Well, with that being said, what did he say? What did Gandalf say? Do you remember? Do you think about it? Think about it really hard. He was like, yes, Gandalf, Gandalf the Grey. That's what they used to call me. He remembered his name. He says, I am Gandalf the White, which shows you their generation and rebirth properties that these guys have. These gentlemen die and reborn. And every time they're reborn into something new. But once they remember their name, that's when their true power and true pieces come together. Which is why our wizard, the stranger is what he's being called right now, is having such a hard time because he is yet to remember his name. He is still powerful, but he is erratic and is all over the place of what's going on. Now, Sauron has revealed himself to the Ringmaker. Why is this important? Because now the Ringmaker, because the messenger that the king had sent, the king of the elves, had sent to the Ringmaker to be like, don't work with this dude. Don't work with this man because this dude is really Sauron. You know what I'm saying? Has not made it there. The messengers have been killed and assassinated by the people of Sauron because Sauron was like, let me stop this. So then when he sees the Ringmaker, he was like, oh, you ain't talked to Galadriel? You ain't talked to the king like, yo, they left you out like that, B? Like he's playing with your mind, son. He is a manipulator. He is a persuader of men. Because once he gets to know you and gets into your thoughts, he can just emphasize a little bit more all the time. He is an influencer. No, not a YouTuber, an influencer. My man. So, and every time you come back around the king, bruh, king be like this. He look at this shiny thing on my hand because he is starting to fall under the influence. Now, the man I feel bad for is Elrond. Elrond has been fighting this ring situation because the first time we see Elrond, he is in the land of the elves. When we watch Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, because they're trying to destroy the One Ring. Now let's look at the One Ring has not been made yet. And that's because Sauron needs the other rings to be placed and put on before. Because when he creates the One Ring, he is going to have to pour a piece of his essence, his person, which you can see that he can do, being that he can transform and shapeshift and pour himself into this ring, which is why he becomes so powerful. If you also notice with the Mithril, the lettering, when the guy puts that thing in the forge and the girl's like, oh, it's gone. And then when he takes it out to the darkness lights it up. This is just an indication of what's going to go down with the ring. Where with the Mithril, it was the light. With Sauron, it will be fire that lights up the words that show up around the ring. One ring to bind them, one ring to rule them, one ring to bring them all together. Oh my goodness. But he places himself before the Ringmaker as a god, as a messenger, a messenger. He didn't even say, he was like, yo. He was like, what should we call you? He told that man his name was Sauron. He told that man, just Call me a partner, a man that brings you gifts. Son, if this was Sunday morning, I got a message for you. You know what I'm saying, son? Let me tell you right now, dog. This joint, episode 2, was everything that you needed. Boy, look. We have already got the rings of the elves given. And then if you watched all the way to the end, hopefully you did, it didn't just turn off. There was an invitation by the ring maker to the dwarf to come see your boy. Man, this is about, the dwarves about to get their rings, son. The dwarves about to, and the man about to, the 9 rings of men, those are the ring race. Those things that be chasing Frodo in Lord of the Rings, the Witch King, all them, those are the ring race, son. Get ready, folks, because it's about to go down. All right, folks, you know what it is. Episode 3 tomorrow. We will get the breakdown of what's episode 3, Rings of Power. Oh my God, I cannot be more excited. I can't be excited for Friday. I cannot excited to show you this new thing that's going to be dropping this Christmas. Oh my God. We got a lot to discuss. But Lord of the Rings week, people. This is how we get down in Afro Tuck Nation. Geek Town. Let's get down. Because if you see your mans in the streets, hit them with the beats. And hit them with a jingle jangle, baby. Jingle jangle.